two.
Hey guys, I'm Misty Buck, president of Miss Inc. Social Media Marketing, and it is another marvelous Marketing Monday. You can put any adjective you want there, but it is Marketing Monday, and I am here with the one and only Mitch Panter of Panter, Panter and Sampedro. I know you guys know Panter, Panter and Sampedro because they do an incredible job at branding. They're really out there in the community. They're doing scholarships. They're at events. Well, when we were able to have them, they're just all over the place. So I wanted to bring in Mitch today to talk a little bit about their branding and how they've done it. You guys have been around for over 30 years now, right?
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
I mean, they've really done this incredible job of building out this brand as this family-friendly, small, bigger is not better brand, right? And they've really diversified. So I'm going to let Mitch go ahead and introduce himself, and then we'll get started with some questions. And feel free to put your questions in the comments on the chat as well.
Welcome to our show. Thank you, Misty. My name is Mitchell Panter with the law firm of Panter, Panter and Sampedro. And as Misty says, yes, we are a personal injury law firm, but we're so much more than that. We've always tried to be more than that. We want to be the go-to law firm. We want to be the one that you go to no matter what your legal needs are. So many years ago, one of our branding techniques was to form the Panter, Panter and Sampedro Business Network. And what that enabled us to do was to do any kind of law. Not necessarily we do it, but we've got a group of people that we've spoken to, that we've met, that we work with that can help you. So I want to say one-stop shop, but whatever you need, we're there to help you. And as Misty said, yeah, one of the things that we really work on doing is customer service. We're out there day in and day out, and it's so important to be able to talk to people, to help people, and to be able to give them the services that they need. It's so important when you call to speak to a lawyer. So when you call our office as compared to other offices, you speak to me, you speak to David, you speak to Brett, Josh or Al, any of our lawyers. That's what you want to speak to. You don't want to speak to a representative that may or may not know what's going on. So when you have a question, you call us. And then we've done a great job with Misty. Misty's been with us, what, 10 years now, or
Probably.
Pretty darn close to it. But we know, we're smart enough to know what we can do and what we can't do. We've worked with Grant and the Miller Publications for so many years now, and it's been such a great experience. And when we got Misty on board, we're learning together. There's not a day that goes by where I'm not getting an email or a fax or some information and sending it to Misty saying, hey, this is something really cool. Let's look into this. Because as Misty will tell you guys, every single day there's something new in marketing, and you got to stay on top of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a big job just doing that. So let's talk a little bit about well, gosh, I have so many questions for you, Mitch, but let's talk about your branding, because you guys, you've been very specific with your brand message. You were very clear with me when we first got started and through the years of how you wanted to brand yourself and what you wanted that messaging to be. And now you're very clear when we work with other vendors and your radio commercials and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about that brand and how you came to decide on that.
So years and years ago, we started advertising, and the advertising was the yellow pages. And that was the way that people got their information. That was the way that people hired lawyers. And we all know Coca-Cola, we know Chevrolet, we know apple pie, but we didn't know Panter, Panter and Sampedro. And what we wanted to do was brand ourselves. And by branding, make a name, make a recognition. And where are you going to be? What are you going to do? Do you want to be the biggest lawyer in the whole world? Do you want to have the most lawyers in your firm? Do you want to, I don't want to say sell out, but do you want to not help people one by one, but rather be this huge global thing? And that's not who we are, or what we wanted to do. We wanted to be in one office, and we've been in our same building on the corner of Kendall and US 1 for 30 years, and we help people. We wanted to take case by case. We came up with a slogan, and we've been with that same slogan and that same brand for 30 years. Panter, Panter and Sampedro. Let our family help you and your family. We added on a law firm dedicated to protecting Florida's families. And those have been our slogans, and that's what we live by. Branding can be things such as a billboard, advertisement. And the advertising has changed. It's changed dramatically. It started, as I said, with the yellow pages. And from the yellow pages, it went to TV. And from TV, it went to radio. And from radio, it went to social media. There's so many different kinds of advertising, so many different ways to get out there. But we feel, and I believe in this strongly, and I know Miller Publications does the same exact thing. Community, community, community. Misty does it well, client by client, person by person, helping individuals, helping groups. Misty mentioned that we do scholarships. We are past presidents of every business association, of temples and churches and schools, community. So we want to be the lawyer and the law firm in this community. Our goal is not to expand. We don't want 12 offices. I don't want 175 lawyers. I want to have our 4 or 5 lawyers or 6 lawyers that help people one by one. So we say now, bigger's not always better, and we mean it. You want to be able to have a lawyer that you can call and ask. And anytime you have a question, you pick up the phone, you call me. I have an advertising question or issue, I call Misty. I want to publicize something, I call Grant and Miller Publications. So it's a matter of picking something, sticking with it, being consistent, but being honest, being truthful, being true to who you are and what your business is. And that's really been the goal of what we wanted to do. And we hope that that's part of what our branding is and will continue to be for the next many years to come.
And I love that. And you guys really are so true to that. And it's really, and honestly, I can say this, I've been working with them for so many years. It's not just, oh, we're saying this tagline because it sounds nice and people are probably going to call us. That's legitimately who they are. I've, been in the office. I've heard them on the phone. I've seen them work. I know that they're accessible. They answer emails. They answer phone calls. I mean, and you're really working with them one-on-one. And so I love that they are, they really stick true to that brand, right? And I love that they know who they are. And you guys just really continue.
We believe in it, and it really means something. So when a client calls and a client wants to speak to their lawyer, they get the lawyer. They don't want to hear that the assistant is no longer there, the assistant has moved on. There's sometimes when clearly we have assistants and legal secretaries and paralegals and litigation specialists and people that do different things, but there's nothing that beats the contact with that lawyer that's handling your case. And we personally sign up the cases. We personally monitor the cases. We personally work through them. I meet the doctors in our community that are able to provide care and service to our clients. I meet with the different people that do the videos for depositions, that do the exhibits, that do our advertising, that do our postage, our photocopies. So we're really hands-on. We decided many years ago we weren't going to grow to be this monster behemoth. We were going to stick with our roots, stay here in the community. We've continued to do that. Our children have grown in the community. We've gone to schools, and as the kids have grown up, we've been active and involved with the different activities, whether it's the legal programs or the non-legal programs. We're helpful. We want to be able to do something. We've hoped that we've developed a reputation for being part of our community. I know every day you look on and Grant is out there and he's doing all these fun activities, but he helps the community, especially now more than ever since we've got COVID. It's so important for us to help the smaller businesses, to help people grow. When we first got Misty on board, she was just starting out. Now she's got tons of community involvement and clients and people and activities, and all of those things help all of us grow and help our community. And that's what we're trying to do. Community. I can't say it enough, but that's what we want to do. We like it. I enjoy it. I'm often asked, hey, you're getting gray hair now. How much longer are you going to work? You know what? I'm going to keep working because I like it. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. We help our clients. And it's not just get the case done and be over with. We continue to work with our clients. For instance, we have a big case and we resolve a big case. We want to make sure that we work with that client so that they reach the best potential for future medical care if needed, for future resources if they need it, to make sure that they have the insurance coverage available and they're not jeopardized with something we do during the handling of the case. If it's a significant case involving significant impact, we like to hook them up with different people that can help them with their resources so they don't go through their money. We set up structured settlements. We set up annuities. We meet them and introduce them to people that can help them get through the next step. If they're going to need continued medical care and treatment, there's companies we work with that can help them. So we're seeing a lot now in social media, specifically of reviews. Reviews are important. Mm-hmm. You want to get the clients that talk to the people what you've done and how you're doing it, and that's a really important aspect of developing the branding is through word of mouth, through your clients, your customers, your people that you work with and for.
Yeah, and you guys you're killing it with the reviews. I'm constantly getting notification. Oh, new 5-star review for Panter Panter a few times a week at least. It's so incredible. So let's chat for a second about everything that you guys do in the community, because branding is not just about, I'm going to come up with a slogan, I'm going to place some ads, and I'm going to do this, and that. It's really about and walking the walk, talking the talk, but also who you are in those other places, right? And you mentioned community and letting people know you. So I know you guys were one of the founders of Pinecrest Business Association. You have several scholarships that you do every year. You guys are really, really involved in not just your cases, but also people that you're not even working with, and just supporting, like you said, small businesses and communities. So talk about that for a little bit.
Sure. So I know David Sampedro, one of our partners, is actively involved with, what's it called? Dogs for Paws?
Paws for You.
Paws for You. So, he's a dog guy, and he likes the dogs. And so he's very active in that. Josh is a past president of the Young Lawyers section. David's a past president of the Young Lawyers section. I was actively involved many moons ago with the Young Lawyers section. We've been involved with Killian High School, where my kids went, with the elementary schools, with the middle schools. We've got a scholarship that we do through the high school in honor of a teacher that passed away, Lorraine Silverstein, many years ago. She was really great with the law program, so we developed a scholarship for that. We've got a Pinecrest Business Association scholarship that we provide. We've got a scholarship that we provide through the South Miami Kendall Bar Association. We've been actively involved in the middle school. We've developed a computer lab. I've just recently got involved with arts. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but Sherry Ball from the Pinecrest Village came in and asked if we'd be involved with the arts program. Arts are taken away in the schools, and it's horrible. You don't get to see a whole lot of arts anymore. So whatever we can do to assist in doing that, we really want to be part of the community. We really want to help. We're beneficial. We're doing good. Business is good. Our kids are grown. Our kids have been able to go to great schools and get educated. We live in a nice home. We're comfortable, and we want to be able to give back. The community has been great to us, and we feel the need and the ability to help. So that's what we do. Whether it's through other lawyers that we work with, whether it's through pro bono work, whatever we can do to help give back. We gave away one summer. It was really cool. There was a bicycle gift. So we went to the park and we gave away 100 bicycles. We're actively involved with, we went down, I think with the Pinecrest Business Association, you must have went with us to a church. I forget the church down in Homestead. We gave away a big scholarship and an award and money, and we try to help people. So wherever the need is. Our goal is not to bash the other guy. There's enough work to go around. I don't need to get on TV and tell you I got millions and millions and millions and thousands of cases. I just want to tell you we will represent you one case at a time, one person at a time. We'll represent your family. We'll help you with your family. That's such an important word. We've got 16 people in our office, and we treat everybody like family. We care about our staff. We care about what we do. We care about our clients. So, one of the things that we hear a lot when people want to call our firm, they want to speak to a lawyer. So I get on the phone and I talk to them. And one of the things they say is, oh my God, I'm speaking to a lawyer. I don't get to speak to a lawyer. That just doesn't happen. Well, it does here. I'm always on the phone, on my email. We're really active on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or any of the different emails, different platforms. We're always looking with Misty, getting us involved in new platforms and new ways. We've been on different radio stations. We want to be able to reach different clients, different places, but our goal is to help the community any way we can. And that's what we try to do. And that's what we've been trying to do for 30 years now.
Yeah, I love it. And you guys will take a diversified approach, right? So your strategies on marketing might have shifted over the years, and your advertising, like you were talking about Yellow Pages earlier, but you really do it's really diversified, right? You're on the radio, you have an ad, and you're doing the 20th anniversary of Pinecrest, or I think
25
or 25. Okay, that sounds more accurate. Okay, we're doing something like that with community newspapers, but then you'll put out articles that give tips, right? Not just like, hey, buy from us. It's really and I can attest to this because we help you write these articles, but it's really about community service tips and things on like preparing your home for a hurricane, or what do you do after a car accident, or what do you need to know about these kind of product recalls that are coming up. So really stuff that's very, very focused on really helping the individual. So so you want to talk about that for a little
Sure.
bit, how you're diversified and how, and again, you're really honing in on not just like buy from us, but this is why we're different.
Absolutely. And it's really important. And it's really one of the things that we strive to do. So as you said, and we all talked about, we were first Yellow Pages and you get your name out there. We've done the billboards, but a billboard doesn't give you any cases per se, or it just gives you the name recognition where people will see, oh, Panter, Panter, and Sampedro, I know them. I know who they are. We try our best to provide community service, and by educating people, by telling them things that are important. So for instance, recently we've been putting out a lot of information about the court system so people know what's going on and how it's working. When we developed our network, the Panter, Panter, and Sampedro network about 15 or so years ago, our goal was to be able to help people with everything. So if you have a problem with a will, if you have real estate, if you have criminal law, immigration, we wanted to not necessarily do it ourselves, but to be able to have our clients have the assistance and the recognition of, oh, I can call these guys. I know they'll get us where we need to go and do what needs to be done. So we do radio, we do TV, we do print ad, we do anything and everything we can to be out there in the community. I go personally to, well, not so much now, but before COVID and hopefully again in the near future, we'll go out and we'll be actively involved in community activities and things that occur. And we want to do things. We've got the hats, we've got the cups, we've got the t-shirts, we've got all the things that give our recognition out there. And those are important. We've got the big signs that we put up at the schools, but we don't just put up the signs. We walk the walk, we talk the talk. So if I'm going to put up a sign at a school that says I'm actively involved, I'm also going to be there. From when my kids were in first and second grade and we went in there on career day, from the take your kid to school days, from the the fairs that they had in the school where we were able to go and participate. Those are all the activities and things that we like to do, that we try to do. If our staff is selling cookies, we'll buy a dozen of them. If they're, no matter what the need is, we get out there and we try to do it. We're not going to bash other lawyers. We're not going to say we're the biggest, we're the best, we're the this, we're the that. We're not going to tell you about the millions of dollars. And there's different strategies, and maybe that works for different lawyers or different businesses. But we want honesty. We want truthfulness. We want to be the people that help you. And so, as Misty said, we write articles about safety in the pool as the summer's coming along. Yeah. We write articles about being safe when you're riding a bicycle. We'll write articles about voting. We'll encourage people to vote, as we had that situation recently. So whatever we can do to educate, to enlighten, to get people involved, that's what we try to do. So it's not all about call Panter, Panter, and Sampedro because we want to be your lawyers. It's about we want to be here for the community. We want to help. When you see Grant out on the street, it's not just because he wants to sell stuff. He wants to educate you. He wants to tell you it's available and it's operational and it's something that you can do. So we all do a good job with that. And that's part of who we are and what we do.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys are so, again, they really, if you have not, you've met Mitch before, or you haven't had a chance to really get to know Panter, Panter, and Sampedro, just look it up. I promise you, everything he's saying is 110% accurate. And then some, and I actually think he's being a little modest because they do way more in the community than he's even mentioned. You're involved with the United Way now, and you have all kinds of things going on.
So the United Way was, we were actively involved in the community doing different things. And recently, Ivan from Primo, one of our great vendors that we've been with for many, many years, came to us and said, hey, let's get involved. And I got Misty involved in it as well. And so there's all kinds of groups. And so I found the United Way to be a really great source of community involvement and community help. Previously involved a little bit with the Orange Bowl Committee and all that they did. But the United Way now is my new passion. We're working on trying to get people, because I see what they do. I see that they do good. And as Misty said, fine, I'll be modest. I don't want to brag about the money we donate to them or the time or the effort, the energy. But when we find something that's a good activity, that's a good source of benefit for our community, we like to be involved. And our community needs it now more than ever. So, if I can encourage others to do it, we do it. We're loyalists when it goes to vendors. So if you're a vendor for us, whether it's the postage, the photocopies, the copy machine, the coffee machine, anybody that we work with, we stick with them. We want to help our community. Early on in the pandemic, we met with Brooklyn Pizza, and we got pizza for the hospitals, and we got pizzas for the police departments, and we did things that we knew would make a difference. And it's not about bragging about them and talking about them. It's about doing these activities and letting people do the talking for you. So much like the reviews happen, the best source of our business has always been referrals. And I guess, in the business world out there, if you get referrals because you do something good for somebody and it continues to work, then you keep it up. You try different things. That's what branding's all about. Coca-Cola, Budweiser, Progressive, Geico, all these people that do branding things, you have the name, you hear the name, but it's about continuing to be involved and continuing to reinvent yourself, keeping true to your core, keeping true to your basics, keeping true to who you are and what you do. So we work on that every day. There's not a day that goes by when you don't pick up the phone and it's not going to be a case. It's not going to be something you can do a lot about, but just by listening to somebody, talking to somebody for a few minutes, they're so happy that they have the opportunity to speak with an attorney for whatever that's worth, and it's good. And you know what? They might not hire you today, but they'll say, "Oh, I spoke to Mitch, and wow, he was really helpful, and it was a good thing." And they'll remember us, and they'll tell their friends. You go to a restaurant, you get really bad service, you're not going back there. Right. But worse than that, you're going to tell everybody about it. You call a lawyer, and the lawyer helps you and does a good job for you. Hey, I went to this lawyer, this person, they did a great job for me, and you're going to tell somebody about it. And that's how you're going to develop your brand, and you're going to establish it. I've taught my kids reputation. Reputation is everything. And reputation is branding. What's branding? Branding is, what is your reputation? Good, bad, or indifferent. People know about you. They learn about you. They hear about you, and they talk like wildfire. And now more than ever, because there's nothing that you can do that within 32 seconds can't be spread across the world to 8 million people. So it's good and bad, the reputation and the branding. So you got to really be careful what you say, how you say it.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for bringing that up, because that's absolutely the truth, right? And branding happens in all sorts of ways. Again, it's not just an advertisement. It's not just a slogan. It's not just a website. In so many different ways. And I think, we talk about social proof, which are those testimonials. It is how people speak about you. It is what they say about you on the internet when we talk about reviews. So there's so many different ways that we're all taking in information as consumers. And so that's, and as we talk about in the show all the time, I think I say it once every Monday, but people do business with people that they like. I mean, it's really that simple, right?
It's the connections, it's it's the dealing with people, it's the who I'm constantly preaching this, who and is so important as compared to what you got to know things. I mean, you got to have the basics, you got to have the ability to do the service and to do the job, and you have to have that core value. But the who the getting in the door, I can get you in the door, but what you do once you're in that door is all up to you. Scenarios all the time where we work with people and I introduce you to somebody else that can help you for something, and it gives you the introduction, but then you have to show who you are. So we get people that call us with referring us a case, and it's great because they've gotten us in the door. We've got the opportunity to speak with somebody, to talk with them, but we still have to have the ability to handle the case, to do the work, to be able to produce, and that's important. And so especially nowadays more than ever, because you're not necessarily getting out there as much as you did in the past. We had, through the Pinecrest Business Association, our first live meeting, and there was 15, 16 people there, and everybody was so thrilled. Ron McGill, who's been a huge fan of the Pinecrest Business Association, and we're all huge fans of his. He's just such a great guy and does such a nice job for the community, for the community and for the zoo and for what he believes in. But he came and did his show, and people were there, and everybody was so grateful to be able to be protected and safe, socially distant, masks on as appropriate, meals were served individually, and it was a great event. But we're getting there, and we're starting to get there. And in our office, most of the time at this point, we're communicating with people virtually. I had a doctor's appointment, you commute virtually, but you still want to have that warm feeling that being with somebody, and continuing with the relationships now. everybody's tired of Zoom meetings. We've had so many Zoom meetings, and every day you have Zoom meetings. I have Zoom depositions, I have Zoom hearings, but you still have to have that connection. And it's more important now in bad times and in tough times to communicate with people and to help people when you can. And that's how you develop your relationship. That's how you develop your branding. That's how you keep true to your core values. And that's what we, at Panter, Panter, and Sampedro are trying to do in this difficult time.
Yeah, and you guys are doing an awesome job of that, by the way. I mean, we were like from the beginning doing videos about what do you need to know if you're a business owner, and there's with the COVID situation, what do you need to know about liability? What do you need to know about this? What do you need to know about that? And so they're really on the forefront of that. So, Mitch, I want to ask you, what advice would you give to a local business owner or a professional, maybe somebody who's just getting started, all these decades of experience that you have? What would you tell somebody who's just getting started?
Hire Misty.
Well, thank you.
and go to Grant. You can't do it on your own, but you can do it, and you don't necessarily have to spend a fortune. Misty can work with you and develop your business. You need somebody that's got the skill, that's got the experience, that's got the ability to reach out to the community. We've been involved with the Miller Publications for many years, and it's a matter of whether it's a simple little ad or a big ad. You can develop a website. Websites are important, but getting people to the websites, get out in the community, whether it's joining the United Way and being part of that, developing time, effort, energy, whether it's donating pizzas to the police, whether it's going to the schools and helping there. I don't want to say bigger is not better and smaller is not better either, but pick your market. So when we advertise, they ask us, at least from the internet, do you want to advertise throughout the country? No, I don't want to advertise in the country. We'll take cases now from all over the world because we are globally situated in here, Miami-Dade County. But it's important to not bite off more than you can chew. Right. So pick your market, pick your ideas, pick your goals and the specialization of what you do, and let people know. Reach out to your family, reach out to your friends, reach out to the small businesses that you work with and the small communities that you're there. The Miller Publications is a great job. There's publications everywhere. So I don't need to advertise in Aventura if I don't want cases in Aventura. Right. There's a Kendall Gazette, there's a Coral Gables one. So pick one of those and do it through there. And then from there, you can go online and you can work online and you can do it yourself. We do a lot of our advertising ourselves, but a lot of it we have help and get the help that you need. And there's so many different places. If you call Misty, she'll help you. Even if you don't hire her, she'll help you. She'll pick you out. And people call us all the time and they get free advice, and happy to do so because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring and who's going to be your client or your customer tomorrow. So one by one relationship building is the biggest and best advice that I can give you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Just building that relationship. And it's not just about money equals time. It's really about when you're sincere and you really help people, at least in my experience.
Huge. Very important.
Yeah. We've been in business over a decade, so we're not quite on Panter's level, but we have made it to a point where I'm like, man, I really do feel like, because I've been able to say, I'm going to actually answer emails, and I'm not going to answer phone calls, and I'm going to help people.
Well, so I'm glad you brought that up. And it's huge. It's so important. Answer your phone. Yeah. Somebody calls you, answer your phone. You never know who. Yeah. You're not too important or so important that you can't answer the phone. You're not so important that you can't respond to an email. I know there was this new app that we wanted to get the other day and pick and choose what you can do and how you can do it, whether it's LinkedIn or whether it's, there's different things, but communicate and communication is one of the biggest problems that lawyers have with their clients is the lack of communication. If you call the Florida bar and you ask them what's their number one complaint, it's my lawyer doesn't communicate. We get so many calls from people that say they want to switch lawyers. Why? Well, I never talk to my lawyer. I never communicate with my lawyer. One of the things that I plead with my kids personally and professionally, they're both lawyers at this point. I tell them, answer the phone, talk to people, because you never know what's going to be on the other end of the phone call. a lot of junk, a lot of garbage, and you have to sift through it when you answer the emails. But even the garbage, respond to people. And it's amazing how appreciative people are just to hear from you. So yeah, be responsive, talk to people, communicate with people. Hugely important.
Yeah,
really.
And I think really, again, when you're talking about talking the talk and walking the walk, just really just treating golden rule, right? Treating people how you would like to be treated. It's really, that's one of the simplest,
easy
forms of building your business, of your brand, and people remember that. Like
always,
they remember that. I mean, even stuff as something as simple as some people, they'll send a handwritten thank you note. That's like that's really a lost art.
My wife is big on that, and we joke about it. But you know what, the professionalism of a thank you. You know what? Thank you for your call. Thank you for your business. Thank you for helping me today. When I get a client that says thank you, we put it in the media.
Right.
It's a great thing, because here's that's what a review is. A review is somebody saying thank you. So if you can say thank you to somebody and be appreciative, and again, I'm not getting on TV saying we settled millions and millions of dollars. We do a good job for our clients. We make a good recovery, but we stick with them. And the what you do after is hugely important. It's when you get the repeat customers, and we've got clients that have been involved with lots of different things over the years, and they keep coming back, not necessarily because they're in another accident or another incident, but because now they need a will, now they need they're buying a home, now they want their child, whatever it is. So the more you're nice and honest, I've always told my family, and I tell my staff too, be nice.
Right.
Be nice. It's so much easier, and it works so much better. And if it's a truthful, honest approach, it really works well. I mean, you go out and you see Grant, and Grant will give you the hide off his back, the hot dog that he gets from wherever it is. So being nice to people, being honest, being straight, and it really just it helps tremendously, and it gives you the credibility that you need to be in the community. We want to be here for another 30 years. We've been at our office for 30. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. We like what we do. We like helping people. It gives us good satisfaction. And when we're benefited enough, and we get somebody that writes a beautiful review, it says, hey, this person really helped me, it's a great feeling, because you've done something good to change somebody's life. Right.
Yeah. And you guys really are doing that with really impacting people. It just goes, and I think one of the, and I don't know how much time we have left, but I don't know, one of the unfortunate things sometimes that you guys in your industry, you're fighting, is this whole like ambulance chaser mentality. But that's really, people really have that, I guess, maybe that perception, maybe they've interacted in a way with another law firm, or they just heard that term before. But when you work with Panter, and Sampedro, it's they're not interested.
You can just look at look at the advertisements, and you can tell there's so many new, I don't necessarily say young, but people that are advertising now that aren't true to the spirit of what we are. They're just out there, and they're, there's a variety of different ads. There's, the big guys, and everybody knows who they are, that want to beat up on the little guys and want to say we're the biggest and we're the best, and everybody else doesn't have the money to pursue the case and to represent you. We do. And we don't need to brag about it, but we do. We have the ability, and we don't have 12 offices. We have one office, and we don't have 170 lawyers. We have 6 lawyers, and we have lawyers that answer the phone. We have lawyers that communicate with you. We work with you. We have the ability and the reputation in the community. I'm proud to say that we represent so many people that work for insurance industries and the county. So many of our clients come to us because we have doctors that we've pursued cases against, that know that we've represented our clients zealously and effectively and truthfully and honestly, and as a result of that, they want us to represent their family. When you come to a lawyer, you're in a bad time. When they come to Panter, and Sampedro, it's because they were in an accident, they were in an incident. They need help, and they want somebody to help them, and that's what we offer. That's what we try to do, one by one. Right. Your case matters. When we say let our family help you and your family, it's a family affair. Your family needs help. The consortium claim. So if you're injured in the state of Florida and you're married, or you have a child, the case affects, the injuries affect the child. It affects your spouse. And do they get represented fairly as well? And we work hard to do that. So we do everything we can to provide effective service, honest, ethical, truthful, true to who we are, and we're going to continue to be that way.
Yeah, and again, it totally is true. I can attest for that. So I know we've gone a little bit over 30 minutes. We probably have to wrap up. Is there anything else that you want to add for us today?
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here, and it's wonderful for Miller Publications to let us out here and to let us do what we do. It's always great to be here with Misty. I highly recommend Miss Inc. Does a great job for us and continues to learn, and we all learn together. So if you have a call or a need, by all means, call Misty, let her help you. Call Grant or Michael over here, and they'll help you get set up. So whatever we can do for you at Panter, Panter and Sampedro, give us a call. We're happy to help you. If we can't do it, we'll find somebody that can.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. And you definitely will talk to them too. So that's a big
yes.
thing. So, all right. So I want to thank you so much for your taking the time to be here. I know you guys always have a million things going on. I'm sure you have to get back to your office and into the next phase of your day, but I don't want to keep you too much longer. But thank you again to Mitch Panter for being here. We will be here next week. We're actually going to talk about real estate marketing next week. So if you're in that market or interested, then make sure that you tune in to next week's Marketing Monday. And thank you again for being here. Thank you to Mitch. Thank you to Tommy, our producer. Thank you to Grant and Michael and all of Miami's community newspapers. And thank you to you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.